Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bitch and Brainstorm podcast. I'm here with Kelly Reynolds, who is one of our speakers for the Elevate Your Online Presence Business Summit happening April 19th and 20th. And Kelly is going to be part of our Systems and Tech panel on April 19th, which is starting at 11:15 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to be talking today about not necessarily the technology around systems, but the systems as in like workflows and SOPs and like the things that you need before you put in the technology. So Kelly, will you take a moment and just kind of tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I am Kelly Reynolds. I own the Reynolds OBM Agency. We are an operations management agency, and we are super nerds on ops systems. I love making SOPs. Most people think they get a little itchy at the idea of having to write down all those processes, and that's what we do best, and we love it. So thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. So let's dive in. Okay. So can you tell us about the operations side of business? Do you think that's as important or less important than the marketing side of your business and getting leads?
Well, I'm going to say a little biased here, but I think that it's the most important thing, because you can have leads coming in, and if you can't deliver your product, you're going to have a lot of unhappy people. You are not going to have a business. They're going to want refunds, and it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah.
If you have operations but no marketing, you can have referrals. I've had a long business with very little marketing, frankly, because I have referrals. I did a great job. Someone else told everyone about me. So yeah, I think operations is super, super important. Making the trains run on time and making sure everything is where it's supposed to be, super, super important.
Yes. So, I own a CRM agency, right? And so one of the things that I love helping people figure out too is like, before we go start building your funnels, before we go start doing up all your automations, what's the process? Like, take me through the customer journey from start to finish, because if you don't know that, then how do you know what the funnels and the automations that you should be putting into place? I feel like it's the cart before the horse, right? You have to, or is it the horse before the cart? I don't even know, girl. Like, what's
I'm terrible at idioms. I am terrible at idioms. I get made fun of all the time.
but you know what I mean? Like, you have
Yeah.
to have the operations and the systems and all of that stuff set up so that you can have a functional business that runs like clockwork. Otherwise, you're going to set yourself up for failure, right?
Well, and you won't be profitable either, because you're going to spend all of this time doing all of these things that aren't useful, or you spend all this time paying people to do things that aren't useful. And that's when you get to the end of the month and you're like, I have no money left. Where did it all go? And you brought all this revenue in and it looks really pretty, and it like all those numbers on the sheet, but then you end up with nothing at the end because you're wasting all this time and money.
Yeah. So what would you say is, for someone who maybe is just getting started, or someone that doesn't yet have all that stuff figured out, where do they start? What's the first step you think that they should be taking?
I think that one of the easiest ways to keep track of things and start to get organized is to pick like one place. Like Google Drive is fantastic for this. If you use Dropbox, pick a place and start putting things in it. And then when you go to look for things, you'll know where they are. Lots of people have it in their downloads folder, or they write things on a piece of paper and then they have no idea what happens. And then start when you're just doing your work, taking videos of what you're doing, Loom videos.
Yeah.
Videotape what you're doing and then put it in that folder. Don't even worry about making anything else. And then in 2 months, when you have to do that thing again and you have no idea how you did it, or you're getting really fancy and you want to start delegating to someone else, you can give that video a look and you will know how to do it.
Yeah.
And you won't have to spend an hour going, where do I log in? What do I have to do? Right there, you've saved yourself a bunch of time.
Yes. 100%. Like when I first was hiring an assistant, I was like, there's a lot of trust, right? And you have to like, are they going to know how to do it the right way? And the way to do that is to, like you mentioned, record yourself doing it. It's allowing you to create your own SOP, right?
Yeah.
People can learn if you show them what it is that you want done. And then it's going to save you so much time and energy in the end, because now you trust that they know what they're doing because you've shown them exactly how you want them to do it.
Right.
Not rocket science, people.
Yeah, I work with agencies. I am an agency. I coach agencies. And the biggest fear is like letting people touch your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh God, they're going to touch it. They're going to mess it up. So if you have these systems in place, then you can hand over things and delegate so much easier.
Yeah. What would you say are the, like, when you're thinking about systems and processes, if you could pick one that was like the most important or the one that's going to save people the most time, energy, headaches, what would you say it should be? What should they have? Like, number one, you must have this.
I don't know. I think it's going to be different for everybody because some
Yeah.
people are different in places. I think
Mhm.
it's the one that takes the most time and is the
Mhm.
most frustrating for you.
Mhm.
Because when we mess around, most of the time it's bookkeeping
Yep.
or sending out your newsletter or whatever it is that you spend 4 hours that someone else can spend 10 minutes on.
Yes.
That's the thing that's the most important. And I don't think it's the same for any business because like I'm super ops person. But then there's going to be really big marketing people. Like whatever's a waste of time is the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen a business like, if they would have had a specific process in place, it would have saved them thousands of dollars or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, totally. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Which
lots,
one is it?
lots of
Which one
them.
is it?
Um,
Tell us all the
uh,
things.
like let's see, one simple thing is following up on outstanding invoices or
Mm,
stopped payments, right? If someone's credit card expired and then their next payment didn't go and they're on a subscription for $300 a month, let's say, and they just stopped paying. They didn't mean to. They still want
yeah.
your thing, but they've
Yeah.
completely forgotten about you. Or I've seen people forget to invoice people, like clients. They've done all the work and then they've never invoiced them thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's a simple, simple thing. If you can have a process, one person goes in and makes sure that everything's invoiced and then all of
Mhm,
them are paid.
mhm.
That's a super simple one. Um, I find a lot of people spend an enormous amount of time looking for things. We have a lot of in our operating system that we do with clients. We have a lot of really basic tools that are here's the thing, here's all the things, because going to look for corporation docs when the bank needs them, or little things like what's the sales page, and everyone linked to a different sales page and the funnel's wrong, or it doesn't
Oh,
work,
dear Lord, right? Oh my goodness.
right? Or like
Mhm.
filling out a podcast application and you have to put in your Facebook and your LinkedIn and your whatever, all those links, and you go and you log into Facebook because you don't know what your link is, and then you
Oh, dear
copy it.
Lord.
And by the time you've logged into 8 different things and you've copied,
Yep.
if you had all of that in one place, that
Yeah.
saves you a ton of time. So it's like
I
these
love
little
that.
tiny simple tricks
Yeah.
to save some time,
Hmm.
which is money.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I cannot, I could literally have this conversation all day long because I just can't stress enough how important it is to have all of that stuff organized. If you,
Mhm.
otherwise, like you mentioned, you're wasting so much time looking for stuff that should be easily accessible.
Yeah.
Um, let's work smarter and not harder, shall we? Let's stop trying to like babysit our business and let's do some things to help us automate. But in order to automate, you have to have your processes down. You have to be able to get support, delegate, have someone else do it, stay in your zone of genius, all the things, all the buzzwords. You need to be able
I
to do
agree.
all of those things. Yeah. So let's see here. Chaos. Tell me about chaos and how chaos is not going to help your business scale.
Oh, chaos. That's what most people run their business with.
Yeah.
I've been an operations manager in a lot of businesses at this point in my career, and most of them are a mess. I mean, they come to me because they're a mess, but they are because they don't. Most people are visionaries. They've created this business, or they're a technical person. They did a thing at corporate, and now they've built a business around it, and they have no idea how to run it. So there's no central location for anything. No one knows what's going on. Everybody on the team kind of does a little thing that's different than the next person,
Mhm.
and there's nothing consistent.
Mhm.
And then when you start writing things down and making things consistent, you can change the way your whole team works, the culture of it. People like to know they're doing the thing the right way.
Mhm.
Like everyone's worked in a weird place where no one really knows what the right way is. No one
Mhm.
really knows if they're doing a good job. No one
Mhm.
really knows what's going on. And it's stressful because you're like, I don't know if anyone's going to yell. I don't know if I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
And that chaos, it sucks for a lot of reasons, right? Like your team doesn't like it. The leader is always stressed out because they
Yeah.
always are wondering if everything's getting done, and no one can find anything. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
So this chaos, it's awful to work with. It's a waste of time and energy. And, it's a bad feeling to have in your company.
Yeah. I would say if you feel like, oh my gosh, if somebody came and looked at the behind the scenes of my business and I would be embarrassed. If Gordon Ramsay came and humiliated me, if Gordon Ramsay came and looked at your kitchen, would you be embarrassed? And if you can say yes, then I think you need someone like Kelly to help you get your shit together, you guys, like for real. So we don't want that, right? We don't want that. So get some help, get your SOPs, get your processes in order, and be sure, like I said, come in and hang out with us at the Elevate Your Online Presence Business Summit, because we're going to be taking this conversation to the next level. And on this panel, we'll also be introducing the actual technology and some of the CRM and all of the fun things that you can also do, but it all starts with processes. So thank you, Kelly, for coming to chat with me and for being on the summit and the panel and all the things. I really, really appreciate it. It was lovely meeting you.
It's been lovely meeting you, and I can't wait. Come nerd out with us about processes and systems. I promise I won't get into the weeds too much. I won't scare you.
Well, we're not here to scare anybody. We're here to help, right? And
yes,
it's all designed to help you elevate your online presence, and you cannot do that if your systems are a mess. So
I
be
agree.
sure to come and join us. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Bye.